This next question I have been avoiding, but I think it's time I answer it.
We used to see all this on Netflix, cheesy action flicks. Now you and me.
Hello everybody, how are we doing today? I am... Okay, maybe we'll get into that in a second because there are some questions about how I'm doing, how I'm feeling. I want to rock out a Q&A. I love to do these in like very pivotal moments in my life, whether you know it or not. I think the first time I started doing these Q&As, I was 1 week separated and I didn't mention it in the video, but if you look back, you can kind of see it was a pivotal moment in my life. And then the last one I did was when my daughter turned 1 year old, and now my daughter is 14 months. I've been on my own as a single mom, co-parenting, but as long as I wasn't a single mom, I have been a single mom. Does that make sense? Or longer. So I'm once again at a very pivotal moment in my life, and you guys have some good questions. I'll stop rambling. Let's hop in to the tea. Question number 1, will I be changing my last name? So, funny story, I never actually changed my last name. Baylin is a made-up last name, and actually so is Blue. They're both names that aren't legally our names. And so the names that I go by on the internet, my daughter goes by, Arrow's father went by, they're all just stage names. It's just really a way to have a bit of privacy. So yeah, I never changed my last name because I don't use my last name except if someone's writing me a check. Let's hop into the tea. I got a lot of questions about the dating and I'm going to fill you guys in. I have some stories, but before we do, I want to take a minute to talk about a different tea inspired thing. Today's sponsor, who is Verb Energy. It is a little midday pick-me-up snack from green tea. Verb Energy. I have talked about Verb Energy before. I love them. I love them. At like this time of day when it's 11, I had my coffee at around 6 a.m. I'm starting to get a little bit more tired, but I don't want to drink a whole nother cup of coffee and I kind of just want a little snack. I will reach for one of these bars. This flavor is the pumpkin spice latte. I love this one. My favorite still is the salted peanut butter or the vanilla chai. Those are such good flavors, but they do come out with some seasonal special flavors. Their packaging is just the cutest. This is the chocolate chip banana bread. Look how cute they are. Perfect for on the go. They have the same amount of caffeine as a shot of espresso. So if you are breastfeeding, you can do a coffee, one of these, and still be under your recommended amount. Clicking my link down below, you can get 60% off Verb's Energy's starter kit. Get a full bag of 12 bars of your flavor of choice, plus 3 of their top selling flavors for only $10 plus free shipping. So that's a total of 15 bars. That comes out to less than $1 a bar. So if you want to check out Verb, check it out now. Okay, the dating question. I have mentioned that I've been on dating apps and I have went on 2 dates. Let me fill you in on the hot goss while keeping things private. Okay, the first date I went on was super casual. It was like midday. We met by the pool at my building, so it was like around people. It was daytime. And let me tell you, he was an Australian pro athlete, tatted with the accent, and I felt nothing. No disrespect to him if for some reason he watches this. I don't even think he knows what I do or would see this. Maybe he does. But if for some reason you do see this, do not take offense. You are obviously a beautiful human who has a lot going for them. We just didn't vibe. And I think he felt the same way because we didn't even text afterwards. We kind of had like an awkward hug bye and that was it. But it was like we were having a conversation. I just kept being, what movies do you like? And he was like, I don't really watch movies. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. What restaurants have you tried? He's like, I don't like buying food out. I just felt like anything I was asking him, we just had a weird difference of opinions. I don't know, and I'm not even that opinionated of a person either. I don't know, we just weren't vibing. Pretty much after that date, I was like, if it's not working with him, it's not gonna work with anybody. But I had one person who just happened to also be Australian DM me to go on a date, and this date was like a totally different vibe. Like, he took me out to a dinner. It was like totally on his terms. He was actually also like a newly single dad. I can't tell you exactly what he did because you would be able to Google him, but he designs furniture for a company that like I know of. And I will say on this date, maybe it's because we split a bottle of wine, but we had really good conversation. We had a lot in common, but I just felt nothing romantically. No offense, dude, if you're watching this. You are a great person, but I think it's just like, there's just that chemistry that two people should have, and it doesn't make one person bad if the other person doesn't feel it. Like, I say that all the time to my girlfriends when they go on a date that's bad and the person doesn't like them and they think it's their fault. I'm like, it means nothing about you. It's just the connection wasn't there. It doesn't make either party wrong or bad. But I don't know, I went on 2 totally different dates with 2 totally different people, except they were both from Australia. And either, I don't know, the chemistry just wasn't naturally there for either person, or I am just not ready to date. So I have decided to take a backseat from dating, because you have to kind of invest a lot of time into talking to people, meeting with people, planning, and I just don't have that time to go on bad dates. And it's been a little bit of a bummer to come to that realization, because a part of me really does want to just have that connection with another adult that's like romantic in some level, but I don't know. Maybe it'll happen now that I'm not looking, but it's not happening. Next up, the pros and cons of apartment living with a toddler. I have lived in an apartment now for, what, 8 months? And there are definitely some pros. For me, an apartment living meant I was like deep in the city, which means I can walk to a lot of necessities, which is great for like last minute shopping with a baby, because to load a baby up into a car seat, drive, park, and come back can really eat into a lot of awake time. So that is a pro if you can walk around your apartment. I also just feel really safe. I have security in my building. I live next to people I know. I also have a lot of amenities I wouldn't probably have with a house, because I just couldn't afford a house with a pool. So I have like a pool, a hot tub here. We have a barbecue area. Those are really great upsides. The downsides are going to be, at least in my building, the fire alarm goes off all the time here. I've had some neighbors who've had parties. I live in like a really loud area. There's construction. Honestly, it all comes down to noise, and I live in like a pretty thick walled apartment and I still have noise issues. Have I decided to stop breastfeeding? Lots of questions about that because I keep mentioning it, and to be honest, I started to wean. I'm still kind of in the process of weaning, but I don't think I'm gonna fully wean now until maybe 2 years. I just right now find breastfeeding to just be such like a back pocket, save the day thing. Like if Arrow's having a really insecure moment, if she's really upset, it always comes in key. If I can't get her down to nap, I take her out, breastfeed her for 5 minutes, put her back down, she goes down. I selfishly just don't wanna give it up at this point, so we're kind of just rocking it out. I definitely breastfeed less. Maybe if she starts giving me some hints she's looking to wean, I'll go through with the weaning. I am definitely ready to stop leaking all day and all night. That is just such an issue for me, and I know not everyone has that, but that is something I'm really done with. Would you ever go on The Bachelor? And I actually know someone who is on, a guy who's on the season filming right now, and I did match with someone on a dating app who was on The Bachelor. And I did think about going on The Bachelor, but after hearing personal accounts of what it's like to be on there, I just don't think it's right for me. And I would have to leave my daughter for probably such a long time. I couldn't do that. I just couldn't do it. No judgment if anyone goes on with kids, but I couldn't do that. This next question I have been avoiding, but I think it's time I answer it. What kind of car did I buy? I've been avoiding this question because, to be honest, I think my car is too nice for me, and the only reason I have as nice a car as I did is because I was working with a financial advisor. Without getting too complicated in it, because I still don't fully understand it, is the way I set up my business as a corporation. If you lease a car through the corporation, I promise it's all legal. It's gonna sound like not legal, but you can write off a portion of your lease as a business expense. I got a nicer car because of that. The car I did get is a Mercedes GLC 300. Beyond something I deserve. I am so grateful to have it, and I've been embarrassed to say what it is because I just feel like it's too nice. And yeah, that's why I've been avoiding it, but I've been getting that question so much ever since I mentioned getting my license, getting a car. So I thought I would finally give you guys the answer. How is it having a new fan base, mamas, instead of all beauty related? So a lot of you guys probably found me from my pregnancy, postpartum, mom videos, but for 7-8 years prior, I was doing beauty, hair, makeup, lifestyle content. And I would say over those 8 years, I did notice a change just in the beauty community in general. I would say when I first started, I loved the community. It felt really close-knit, it felt really supportive, and making the transition when my life transitioned, I found that the mommy, motherhood, parenthood community was that same tight, close-knit, supportive, beautiful friendship that I had when I started YouTube, and then I noticed the change, and I didn't feel the same love and closeness and excitement near the end. And so I kind of feel like my life transitioned and everything transitioned in the perfect way, and I love where I am now, and the people that watch me, like literally the best people, comment, send me DMs, email me. I could not be thankful enough. I had a lot of questions saying, how are you really doing? And honestly, not good. And I feel really bad saying that because I'm in a great space. I have a healthy, beautiful daughter. We have a great relationship. I'm in a great co-parenting relationship. I have my family back in my life after not having them in my life for like 8 months. I have so much support and love from you guys. I get to be creative. I don't know if I'm having like delayed postpartum depression because I had so much going on in the first year of my life, or if it's just everything kind of calmed down from the craziness of the first year, and now I'm actually feeling a lot of the emotions that maybe I didn't feel when it was going on, and a mix of becoming a single mom, adjusting to parenthood and new work stresses, and Jesus, the fact that we're in the middle of a pandemic still, that I'm in extreme isolation because of my career and the state of the world. So long story short, I did actually reach out to a therapist and a psychiatrist, and I don't have an appointment set yet. I'm trying to get myself to take that next step. It is really hard to ask for help, and I feel like right now me talking about me not doing well is the first step, but I don't know, a part of me is just like, is this just a hormonal postpartum weaning from breastfeeding mental depression, or is it an environmental pandemic divorce depression? Let's switch things up a little bit and talk about something that makes me happy, focus on the positive, the good. I saw this question a lot. What are my favorite parts of Arrow's personality? I'm definitely starting to see her personality shine through, and my favorite thing that I've seen her do so far is she's just like really thoughtful and caring and like a caretaker. Like she really likes to feed other people. Like obviously if I'm around, she'll want whatever she's eating, she'll want to feed me. And it's not just me, like literally anyone, if she has food, she's going to try to feed them. So me or her dog, which isn't my favorite. But she was even on a play date recently and she kept trying to put food in the baby's mouth, which is just so sweet, so nice. I just feel like she's gonna be very caring and selfless, and I just think that's such a beautiful thing. Next question, why have you chose not to use CBD while breastfeeding? And I feel like because I mentioned I have a little bit of insomnia, I can't sleep through the night, I was getting CBD as a big suggestion, and to be honest, it was not advised by my doctor. When I've researched it on my own, it's just not that regulated or studied yet on the effects, and so I decided to not use CBD. If I wasn't breastfeeding, I definitely would, and I'm not gonna judge you if you are doing it, but just from like what I've seen as of right now, it doesn't seem like the path I wanna go by, and yeah, that's based off what I read and my doctor. That's why I chose not to use it. I have answered this next question before, but I got it a lot again. So for those who are new here, did I get my lips done? Yes, but I would say it was 3 or 4 years ago. I've had my lips done twice, before my wedding and then I think like again a year after. So it would have been 2017 and 18, but yeah, I haven't, I'm breastfeeding. It's definitely not something I would suggest to do while breastfeeding or Botox. I'm not by any means obviously against injectables. I am personally just waiting until my breastfeeding journey is over, something I'm looking forward to maybe doing again, or maybe not, who knows. This person, are you expecting a second child? Either I am missing something completely, or they have missed a lot of stuff on my channel. I would love to be expecting a second child, but a lot of things would need to happen to make that scientifically work. Tips for single moms online dating for the first time. I don't know, I'm in the same boat with you. I don't think there's like a one right answer for anyone. I hear of single moms finding someone immediately and then waiting until their kids are 18. I don't know what's best. I don't know how to find anyone. I don't know what I'm doing either. If you have tips, let me know. And guys, that is where I'm going to wrap up today's Q&A. I think I hit on everything I wanted to, which was like breastfeeding, dating, mental health, how I'm doing. Let me know where you are right now. I felt like in such a weird space after the 1 year mark. Like I had things down. I felt like I was in a groove. I was on a really good path. I still do, but I think I just thought when I had a groove, things would be easier. And I don't know if I would say they're harder, but it's just like, it's just different. Like I was so tired and struggling before, but now I'm so tired and struggling. I really hope I didn't come off like a negative Nancy in this video. I always just keep it real and honest with you guys, and I try to see the positive of everything. I hope that you appreciate my honesty. If you liked today's video, make sure to give it a like. A big thank you again to Verb Energy for sponsoring today's video. I will have a link to them down below with 60% off. If you have any requests for future videos or any questions I didn't get to answering in here, leave them in the comments down below, and I will see you next Monday. Bye!